Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. Coming up, why doing an impression of Tim Allen could get you a date.
Also, is this going to make me a WNBA fan?
All that and more on the way next. China has an all-robot soccer team, and they're undefeated. 8772 Radio U. That's because they've only played against other robots. But, I mean, it's true. China's human national soccer team so bad that they've been working on robot replacements. And, they've got a way to go. 8772 Radio U. Allie, you have to see this video of what we believe is the first ever all-robot soccer game in China, 3-on-3, and it just turned into chaos very shortly after it started.
Yeah, if you've ever watched, toddlers play soccer where they all huddle around the ball and you can't see the ball anymore, and, everybody can't really move anywhere, there's no passing, it's just follow the ball, kick it and follow it, and a huddle of children following it. That's kind of what this looked like. It was just like several robots standing around a soccer ball.
I was thinking that it was like toddlers, except that toddlers actually want to kick the ball.
And the robots just stare at it.
These robots, yeah, they're just staring. I think the programmers forgot to add in the crucial aspect of programming the robots to kick the soccer ball.
Yeah.
Is what it seems. And on top of that, the robots struggled to stay upright. The video literally starts that I'm looking at with a robot just lying on the ground. He's just lying there as the other robots gather around the ball. And then as the game is going on, like something out of Futurama, there's these teams of guys that just come in and take the robots that fall over away on a stretcher.
Yep.
It is the most amazing thing.
No pause in the action, nothing. They just run on,
and of course,
run off.
The remaining robots do not pay any attention. Like, it doesn't faze them at all.
No.
And watching them fall over is so amazing.
Yeah, they don't have very good balance at
No,
all.
they don't. There's something about trying to get a robot to walk on two legs, apparently very difficult. And when they do fall over, it is like a cartoon. It is like, when they make that sound effect, it's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That is what's happening. I wish I had that button here. Should have thought about that beforehand.
Yeah, seriously. It is very cartoonish and overall just a very weird thing to watch. Not very entertaining. It's not like you're going to have a fun time watching a robot soccer game. You may get some laughs out of it, but overall you probably would be pretty bored. Apparently,
just like with a real soccer game, so it's fine.
Apparently, this is like a preview of the World Humanoid Robot Games, which are going to be held in Beijing in August.
Sign me up.
We're not only going to get soccer, Hudson, we're going to get gymnastics and track and field.
Wow.
Robot gymnastics.
I'm looking forward to that. The floor exercises, the uneven bars.
The beam with the robots that already have terrible balance.
The pommel horse. Come on. This is going to be more interesting than a real Olympics. And by the way, if you're wondering about this game, it did go to a penalty shootout just like every other soccer game of all time. Yesterday, our very own Nene came to me in my office holding a bag of Chick-fil-A.
Of course.
8772 Radio U. He came to me and he says, this is my last Chick-fil-A for a month. And I was like, wait, is this like a thing? Because yesterday was the end of the month. It's like, oh, is that like a play on words or something?
He does make that joke a lot.
Yeah.
Where it'll be like, this is the last time I'm doing this month. And then it's like,
right.
The next month is a day away.
But I was like, okay. And then he's like, because I'm not eating fast food or any restaurant food for a month from now, starting tomorrow. And then he told me that you're doing that too, which I remember you mentioning. And so I just want to ask, he's not here. I just want to ask you why.
Well, for me, I did it because I want to see how much money I can save by not eating out.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of made a resolution for myself at the beginning of the year that I was going to eat out a lot less. And I've been doing that really, really well so far. But I want to see, can I go a whole month without eating out at all? Because I would say maybe once or twice per week where was going and getting something that was not, a home cooked meal. So I'm like, all right, I want to cut it out entirely for a month, see how much money I can save, see how I can do. So it's more financial, but I do think there's also health benefits in not eating out and eating at home.
Interesting. Are you following the same rule that Nene is? That he told me if somebody, and he really emphasized this, he's like, if somebody buys me fast food though, then I will eat it. It's just I'm not going to buy it. And I'm like, Nene, are you asking me to buy you fast food?
Right. Yeah. He told me that he came up with that little caveat for himself. I didn't think of that. But like I said, technically it's not like a health thing. It's more financial. So I guess I wouldn't say no. But I'm not actively going around and asking.
Yeah.
He told me, he was like, this is my last Chick-fil-A until I plan to be on my hands and knees begging Hudson to buy it for me in his office. So I'm not planning to do that.
Hello. Why doesn't he just ask you?
Because I'm not buying fast food. It's a financial thing. I don't want to buy anything.
If you guys had the same rule, you could just buy it for each other and you wouldn't be breaking any rules.
No, because then I would be spending the money and I don't want to spend any money. That's the whole point of it.
I want to okay. I could never go a month without buying food out.
Okay.
I can go a month without eating lunch out because I never eat lunch out.
Yeah.
Unless I'm basically forced to.
Right.
Buy a staff lunch. So you can do it, but it's going to be really hard because I'm going to be getting lunch delivered to myself every day.
Every day?
Yeah. Yep. I'm starting this new thing where I eat out every day of the month.
Oh, no.
Starting today.
So you're going to do the opposite of us.
Yeah.
How much money are you going to lose by doing that?
You know what? I've got plenty. I don't have to worry about it. Make a pretty good salary here, actually. So, yeah, I was thinking, and I wanted to actually, when I do eat lunch, I want to come join you guys now.
You want to be in our office?
Yeah, while you're eating your salad from Kroger or whatever. It's my plan. Team building.
Okay.
Huge announcement out of the WNBA yesterday where their commissioner announced that over the next 5 years, they will be adding 3 new expansion teams in Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia. Mind you, that's on top of new teams in Toronto and Portland that enter the league next year. So we're adding 5 teams over the next 5 years, which will, of course, bring the total of WNBA teams to...
I have no idea.
18.
18?
Yeah.
Okay, that's decent.
So I guess there's 13 right now.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia will be the new towns that do not have WNBA teams yet. They'll be getting them starting in 2028.
I'm so excited for Cleveland to have a team again. Cleveland had a team when the WNBA made its debut, I think like 30 years ago at this point, and then that team went defunct. But
now that's useless knowledge.
Yeah, but
what was the team name?
I think they were called like the Rockets or something, or the Rockets or something like that. It was something with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, that'd be so confusing.
Yeah, but
since there's already Rockets in a different town in the NBA.
Yeah, it was before my time of watching basketball, so I never watched them, but I have seen photos of the team, and photos of their jerseys, and when they first announced this, they posted a picture of an old photo from that team and was like, they're coming back to Cleveland, or a team's coming back to Cleveland. So who knows if they'll end up with the same name or if they're going to come up with something new. But yeah, I think it was something like Rockets or Rockettes.
Oh, it was the Rockers.
The Rockers.
I was thinking, what a great name for a team. I was like, it couldn't have been the Rockets because that's Houston.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have been Rockettes, right? Because that's like New York City. Yeah. What are the team do the can while they're supposed to be playing basketball? Like,
I just knew it was rock something.
It's
but
the Rockers.
Yeah. So I don't know if they'll keep that name or come up with something new, but I'm excited.
They played from 1997 until 2003, which sounds like the exact time in history when a team could be called the Rockers and have like a guitar for a logo.
Yeah.
I don't think that would work now.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I feel like they're not going to rename them that.
Yeah, but I think I'll be excited to see, what they do come up with. And I'm excited. So.
This is the time for the WNBA needs to be expanding now.
Yeah, it's got a lot of new fans.
Caitlin Clark just started. You got to just strike while the iron is hot. Mm-hmm. If you wait to see like, is this bump in popularity only regarding Caitlin Clark, and when she's gone, then it'll be over, or is you just can't wait and see.
Right.
You just gotta.
I think
gotta take advantage of the chance you have.
Right. I think the initial bump certainly was Caitlin Clark, but now you're seeing other players gain a lot of popularity too. I mean, we certainly talk about Angel Reese a lot. Mm-hmm. I feel like is it Sophia Cunningham, who's also on the Fever? A lot of people have been talking about her as the enforcer in the WNBA now. So I feel like a lot of other players are also gaining popularity. I hear a lot about, I think it's Cameron Brink from the LA team. So it's just like overall the sport is growing, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's taking off a little bit, and it's at a good time of year too, because I mean the WNBA I think has always been in the summer.
Yeah.
But like now there really is, like there's people like you and I that we love football and hockey and NBA basketball, but everything ends, and now it's just baseball, and that's it. So the WNBA,
it's an open lane.
Yeah. Take what you can get, and right now they can be like the thing for the summer.
Yeah.
And keep expanding on that. And by the time 20 years from now, when Caitlin Clark's out of the league, maybe we'll take it actually seriously. I've got the spot where you can get your Lululemon fix at a fraction of the price, which I'm so glad about. I've been waiting for this. 8772 Radio U. All you need to do is go to Costco, where they are selling Lululemon knockoffs that are so convincing Lululemon is suing them.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I would make this a you be the judge, but like, how can any of us know,
I mean, I'm no Lululemon expert, so yeah.
It would just be, and you'd have to be able to see them and everything,
right.
And probably like touch them and feel them.
Compare.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but I do know that Lululemon suing Costco for ripping off their products is really actually having already, in just the 3 days since this lawsuit was filed, the Barbra Streisand effect.
Yeah.
Where some people knew that you could get Lululemon knockoffs at Costco for a reasonable price, but now everybody knows about it.
A lot more people know now.
And so the lawsuit centers around the scuba hoodies and sweatshirts, Define jackets, and ABC pants that you would normally get at Lululemon, and those cost hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
At Costco, you can get a very similar product, possibly too similar, for less than $20.
Yep.
And so Lululemon is saying that Costco has gotten too good at knocking off their products, and they need to stop. But like everybody is saying, everybody that didn't know about these knockoffs now are like, I got to go to Costco and stock up while there's still time.
Right. Literally, people in the comments of posts about this Lululemon lawsuit are like, wow, I was saving up to buy stuff from Lululemon, but now I'm just going to go to Costco and buy it. And it really does show you that these big like luxury brands, the amount of profit they're making just by upcharging people so much on their products that are being made in very similar ways for, a lot cheaper of a price. It's crazy how much of a margin that these companies have to have, because I'm not sold on that the quality is that much better than if you were to buy a pair of like leggings from Costco that are $20 versus from Lululemon that are $120. Yeah, maybe the quality is a little bit better, but is it $100 better? I've never been a person to believe that that's true. I will say though, I've not. I don't know if dupes are necessary, but I have found some Lululemon at thrift stores.
Oh, there's another idea.
And you can get them pretty cheap there too.
I will tell you that Lululemon's stock is down 37% this year.
Ooh.
So they're not making money like you think they are.
Apparently not.
Maybe why they might be more inclined to do this lawsuit. Some are even saying that they, especially if they win, that this could actually set up a partnership between them and Costco, because I guess Costco has done that in the past.
Okay.
Where they partnered with brand names and allowed them to kind of work together with the Kirkland brand, and as long as they meet certain guidelines. So maybe this is the beginnings of a beautiful friendship. That probably means that people have to pay a little more than the Costco version,
yeah,
but a lot less still than the Lululemon version. But Lululemon still gets their cut. I'll tell you what, this is tempting me though.
Going to Costco and getting Lululemon
I might
dupes?
need a Costco membership.
Ooh.
All the talk of the hot dogs and whatever, that doesn't tempt me. I can get a good hot dog anywhere. I can make that at home.
Okay.
$1 hot dogs, ooh. But you tell me I can get Lululemon pants for like a quarter of the price of actual Lululemon. You think about how good I'd look in those.
Yeah, but also, who's coming up with the names for these products? Scuba and ABC? What? Like, what's the...
Well... ABC, keep it simple. Stick to the basics.
Yep.
Go with what works.
I mean,
you don't need to make it fancy.
It's certainly the basics.
Yeah.
But scuba, is that the basics? Like, what is that supposed to be, like scuba diving?
It makes you feel like an adventurer when you wear it. The most classic Cedar Point thing happened over the weekend. I missed this, but the Nene, I was talking to him after the show yesterday, and he told me about it because he was there. At Cedar Point, Sandusky, Ohio, they just opened a brand new roller coaster, the Siren's Curse.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
It is a great name. I love Cedar Point and their coasters.
The Siren's Curse is the newest roller coaster. It just opened right over the weekend.
Opened on Saturday.
And the most classic Cedar Point thing happened. They opened a brand new coaster, the first of its kind in the United States. And on opening weekend, it breaks. You wait 3 hours only to get stuck on the ride. And this one, it's stuck, and there's like a picture of the people hanging there. It's just like hanging vertically. It's hanging where you would be looking straight down at the ground.
Yeah, this is a tilt coaster, which I think is one of the first ever in America. I'm not sure. But basically what happens is like there's this huge 90-degree angle drop that happens, and the coaster does, instead of going over that, just like riding the rail, it tilts.
Right.
So it's pretty honestly impressive, the engineering that goes behind making something like this.
Yeah, to have that be safe.
Yeah, to have that even be possible. But so yeah, it's a new coaster, new idea and concept. And so a lot of people very excited to ride this. And of course, it breaks down day one, leaves people dangling in that tilt position facing forward at that 90-degree angle. And I think it was for 10 minutes. The coaster was shut down for 25 minutes, but the dangling part was just for 10. So not as bad as what we thought.
Still too long.
Still way too long to be dangling there. I'd be worried.
After you waited for so many hours. But this is so commonplace at Cedar Point that I feel like the people, like if you're going for opening weekend, you're hoping this happens because it's like a part of the experience. You're like, I want to be the one that wins the lottery and gets on it when it breaks down.
Well, previously, the coaster that this used to happen to was the Top Thrill Dragster. And people would get really excited because with that coaster, it's like a coaster that it has to launch you really fast to get up this massive hill. And if it didn't launch you the right amount, you would just come back down. I remember there was bleachers. I don't know if they removed these, but there was bleachers by this coaster. You could go sit and watch because this was how cool. It would go 0 to 60 in like really quick, less than a minute. And people would be cheering if it didn't make it up the hill because they got to get launched again.
Yeah.
You know, they got to experience that G-force one more time. So, yeah, I do think it's a part of the experience now at Cedar Point to get like either stuck or some type of malfunction where you get to go again.
I like roller coasters. I would rather go to Disney World.
Disney World's coasters are terrible. What are you talking about?
Because at least I know they're going to work.
But they're
and I just mean
fun.
on opening weekend.
On opening weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel what
if you're going to wait in line for something, I want to know if I'm going to wait hours in line after I've waited hours to park, and then go wait hours to get food or whatever. It's just waiting and waiting at both parks when it's busy. I'd rather at least know that the ride will function properly.
I will say though, when he told me the line was 3 hours long, I was actually thinking that was pretty good.
I know, me too.
For
a
Cedar Point debut,
which is sad.
For a Cedar Point debut, that's not that bad. That's average. That's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, the roller coaster, you don't have to go on opening weekend. It'll still be there.
Yep.
Several months from now.
That's
my
plan.
You can go and wait a whole lot less time. A woman on Hinge has issued a very strange challenge to potential daters, potential men that may be interested in her, and they are taking her up on it, and it is the best. 8772 Radio U. This woman, she's documented this on TikTok. On Hinge, if you want to talk to her, you need to send a clip of you doing an impression of Tim Allen from Home Improvement, and if you've ever seen anything about Home Improvement, you know what impression you need to do.
Yes.
You need to do Tim Allen going, And so many men have taken her up on this challenge. And she's posted each and every one on TikTok, and it is my favorite thing of all time.
Yeah, and most of them are actually really good. There's a few duds in there, but there are several of these men that actually are really spot on with their impression.
Yeah. How could she possibly choose?
I know. I'm impressed with so many of them. I'm like, who would you talk to?
I can't believe it took her this long to come up with this idea, because this is how I just used to introduce myself on dating apps.
Oh, you would just do
unprompted.
The Tim Allen impression.
Go, just a voice message that only said that.
Yeah.
It took me a while.
I wonder why that didn't work.
It took me a while to find any dates.
Yeah, I wonder why.
But here I am now.
Okay. But yeah, this is crazy. I think it's fun. I feel like to stand out on a dating app, you do need to do something crazy like this. You know what I mean? You do need to have a fun prompt like this.
And for so many people on so many dating apps, usually it's guys, they're not reading the profile. And then as a woman, you feel like I'm speaking from experience, you feel like you're just getting, you're just seen as an object, as something in a picture, but not a fully formed person. And so this is showing that the guys are actually reading the profile.
Yeah, I would say that was my experience on my short time on Hinge, that I felt like guys were reading what I put, because I put some pretty interesting, little prompts, So I'm glad that I got several responses on those. I didn't have anything as fun as this, though. This is pretty fun.
Yeah, I just wonder where you go from here in a relationship.
Yeah, I think it's more for the gimmick than actually for a relationship. And so that's why I don't really think it'll end up, really coming to work for her. It's just more for the fun.
Yeah, and it's been fun for all of us to enjoy. It's crazy how many. She has at least 8 parts of an 8-part documentary she's posted of this on TikTok. Yeah. So many guys have tried their hand at the Tim Allen Home Improvement.
In one of the responses to that prompt on her Hinge that she shows in one of the clips on TikTok, it's a guy going, how many guys have you charmed with this prompt? And she's like, I can't remember how many exactly she said, but it was well over 150.
Wow.
So many men are responding to that prompt.
Yeah. Like I said, how can you just narrow it down at that point?
Yeah.
How could you possibly choose? I'm just glad we've got a dating app story that's, it's not ending in happily ever after yet, but at least it's not a horror story.
Yeah, it's not depressing us.
Yeah. So that's a win.
That's an improvement. A home improvement.
I have a woman on TikTok that claims that she has eaten meat from her very own rib. 8772 Radio U. The TikToker who goes by Pterodactyl Honey claims that she had a rib removed during a medical procedure. they allowed her to take it home.
What?
And she boiled the rib so that she could preserve it and took a little bit of the meat off and had to taste it.
She's a cannibal.
An auto cannibal.
Yeah. Gross.
If this is actually true.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know if I really believe that they allowed her to take the rib.
Oh, they allow you to take your removed body parts home.
Do they?
Yeah. If you get like your
mean-
spleen removed, it's yours.
Your spleen? You're just
Yeah.
going to take that with you.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know why you would.
It's mine. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I better be able to
Maybe,
keep it.
I don't
so
know,
then at
run
least
tests on it or something.
it's already gone. What good would that do?
I
it's
don't
already
know.
out of
Maybe
me.
you could test and see why exactly your spleen needed to be removed in
I
the
think
first
they
place.
should figure that out beforehand, don't you? Before they go removing
This would be
ribs
extra
and
testing
spleens and
after.
other body
All right,
parts.
let's Google it. Do they allow you to take body parts home?
They definitely do.
You're so certain about this.
I know people that have done this.
Okay.
It's not the common practice. I think you have to ask. You have to make a big deal out of it. But it's your body part. You should be able to have it.
Not permitted to take body parts removed during surgery home from hospital.
That I don't believe that.
They treat them as medical waste or biohazards with specific disposable protocols.
Maybe it's so that you can't sell it afterwards.
That probably is a reason, yeah.
Like if they
don't
take
want to be
out
on the black market.
one of my kidneys, they don't want me reselling that to somebody in need of one only to find out it's diseased and hasn't been properly preserved.
Apparently also there's an issue where it can become a hazard and can pose a risk, like infection risk.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I think this is wrong and this is a law that needs to be changed.
Okay. Apparently it's up to state laws that determine
yeah, so there's
this.
some states definitely let you take some stuff home with you.
I don't know which ones do, but according to AI Overview, it's generally not permitted to take body parts
Well, where do
home.
they draw the line? Because what about like bodily fluids? What about blood? What about my blood? Can I take that with me?
I don't know why you would want to, but
Because it's mine. Just because it needs to be removed doesn't mean they get to keep it.
Why would you want to take your blood with you?
Because it belongs to me.
And I don't
If they
know
take
in
it
what
out and don't give it back,
circumstance-
they're stealing it.
Well, I don't know in what circumstance they would take your blood unless it was being taken to donate it and not put it back.
What about like a transfusion or something?
A blood transfusion?
Yeah.
You want the blood back after it's been transfused to somebody else?
I'm just saying, I think that just because there's something wrong with my rib or my appendix or whatever it is, just because it needs to be removed from my body doesn't mean it doesn't still belong to me.
We're really missing the whole point of this, which is that she ate her own rib.
Well, it sounds like she probably didn't. And she's lying. She's engagement farming.
It does sound like she's lying, but yeah, that is a crazy claim to make. Not only that you took a body part home after surgery, they allowed you to take your rib home, and then you boil it and decide to eat it? What craziness.
But she should be allowed to do that.
To eat her own rib.
Once she brings it home, which she should be allowed to do, then that's her choice.
Isn't there a theory out there once you've had human meat, there's no going back?
I don't think that'd be hard to test, wouldn't it? It'd be pretty hard to test. We're just talking about a woman on TikTok who claims she had a rib removed in a medical procedure that she got to take home. She boiled it to preserve it and also tasted a bit of the meat that comes from her own rib. She had to try it. Now, there's a debate about whether you're even allowed to do this. But, Allie, I'm looking into it, and it is not black and white, crystal clear waters here.
It really isn't. I'm seeing a lot of articles that claim you can, let's say you're an amputee and you're getting a limb removed. But I will say, generally, what I'm seeing is a lot of the articles that claim you can take stuff home, quite old. There's nothing new about this. There's nothing new, any new writing on this. Like the one I'm seeing about after amputation, you may be able to take your body part home. That's from January 5th, 2017. So I'm like,
so that means that since 2017, there hasn't been a story that's like, new law bans patients from taking their amputated limbs home.
It says you may be able to. So it's like, it's not even clear in that article if you can or not. So
we cannot disprove that this woman in this instance was able to take her rib home.
Technically, no.
It's technically possible. I'd still, I'm going to side on I feel like she's making it up.
I think so too, but
Dylan said he had a softball-sized tumor removed. While he was awake, they let him check it out and take pictures, but sent it for testing.
Which makes sense with tumors. I feel like they always send that stuff off for testing. Yeah, you want to be careful.
And that tumors I consider invasive, so I wouldn't want to take that home.
You're like, that's not a part of me.
Right, yeah, get that out of here. That's an alien body.
Yeah. I have heard of people with different medical items, like let's say like you get a pacemaker removed, that is something you can take with you maybe. I have heard of people doing that. I was reading that
as well.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, if I had a tumor and I got it removed, maybe I would want to take it.
You would want to keep it?
Not as a keepsake, but so I could destroy it in a fun way.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be, don't you think, cathartic?
Maybe.
Like, I beat this thing, and so I'm going to light it on fire. Light this tumor on fire. I think that'd be fun. Susanna says you can bank your own. Wow, she had a lot to say. 1, you can bank your own blood for future procedures. Interesting.
That's good.
I'm donating blood, but I'm donating it to me for to future me.
I know they can't store blood forever though. Blood has a shelf life to it. So I would imagine you'd have to have pretty regularly scheduled procedures to be able to actually use your own blood.
She also says she claims you can often take your body parts, but not always. And she would totally taste her own flesh if given the opportunity. She also says she knows someone who took an amputated arm home in 2025.
And Max says in July of 1998, when he had his leg amputated, they asked him if he wanted it.
When it's a larger body part, then I start to think about the practicality of what would I do with the leg?
Well, and also the I would imagine, I mean, unless they're embalming it or something, doesn't the flesh just eventually, not look so good, not smell so good anymore?
And that's probably not the hospital's expertise, is how to keep a amputated limb preserved
fresh
for you.
Yeah,
you probably have to go somewhere. They'll give it to you, but then it's your problem at that point.
Oh, and Max seems to like your barbecue tumor idea. Oh man, yeah, this is crazy. We do need to find what's the clear legislation on this, because there doesn't seem to be any.
What we're seeing here is it's state by state. There's definitely this is very clear. There's no federal law. It's state by state, and it maybe even be hospital by hospital. But all I'm saying is I think the right thing to do is for them to let you keep it.
To let you keep.
To offer it to you.
Yeah.
Most people probably wouldn't take them up on it.
It seems like amputated limbs, for sure, they seem to be offering that up right away.
Like we said, the least practical thing for you to keep. Whereas my spleen, for some reason, I can't have. We may have found Diet Coke's #1 customer, 8772 RadioU. A woman on TikTok collected her boss's discarded Diet Coke cans for an entire month.
Oh, boy.
Unbeknownst to the boss.
Okay.
Laid them all out on a table.
Looks like a countertop.
Yeah, a countertop. How many Diet Coke cans,
my God,
empty Diet Coke cans do you think this is?
That's 100 easily.
Oh, that's several dozen.
If it was 12 packs, it'd be, it's crazy.
It's hundreds of Diet Coke cans.
Just counting this back row, it's I'm already seeing at least 20.
Yeah, it's, I feel like we're not doing it justice when you actually see them all laid out.
It might even be 200. It might in the hundreds.
And this is from a month, and this is only what her boss drank at work.
Oh,
and
my.
she says that she estimates her boss drinks 12 cans a day, so an entire pack
12
of Diet Coke cans a day while he's at the office, and he's only in the office a few days per week. So you think about all the other Diet Coke he's drinking when he's not at work.
Oh my gosh. He's going through 24 Diet Cokes a day.
How does this man have any teeth?
How is this man alive?
I know. Well, he's preserved, I think.
Artificially preserved.
I think he's been embalmed by Diet Coke.
Maybe. Honestly, though, because I'm thinking to myself, when I drink, like if I'm on my third or fourth Diet Coke of the day, my heart starts beating so fast. I'm like, all right, I got to slow it down here. I can't do any more. Usually 2 or 3 is enough for me in one day. So I can't imagine drinking 12. That's insane.
I just don't know how this man can afford this. Like, what is he the boss of? That he makes 12
it looks
Diet
like a
Coke
nice
cans
office.
a day. Money.
I mean, yeah, you got to be making at least $100K.
Yeah. I mean, he's spending $100K a year on Diet Coke, it looks like.
Yeah, this is craziness. I mean, I thought I was a big Diet Coke fan and a big Diet Coke drinker. I've got lots of family members that are big Diet Coke drinkers, but we are nowhere near this.
You've got some catching up to do.
Apparently. But honestly, I don't want to catch up to this. This is crazy.
You can't afford it.
I definitely cannot. I do one 12-pack a week is how I usually roll.
I think this guy is single-handedly keeping Diet Coke in business.
He's keeping the Coke brand afloat.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it, but I'm just in awe. I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed. You know? Why?
I just hope he's like getting regular doctor checkups. For his heart.
His blood pressure has got to be through the roof.
I'm wondering the same thing. That's so much caffeine. I know Coke doesn't have as much caffeine as like coffee. So if he was drinking 12 coffees a day, then he would just be dead. Like your heart would stop beating. But
you build up a tolerance. You're like
that's true. That's true.
Guy in Princess Bride. What's his name?
The guy in Princess Bride?
Yeah, you know, like the main character.
Wesley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what he is. He's this.
He's Wesley?
I think that's who this is.
Okay. I wasn't sure what you were referring to just yet.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.